Mm. New iPhone 11. Just upgraded from the iPhone 5 to the iPhone 11, you guys. Oh my gosh, I'm like feeling really good about that. Got my own phone line. Don't think I've ever had my own phone line. I was on my ex-husband's family's line for a decade. But I don't need to do that. I'm a grown woman, almost 30, you guys. What the F? I mean, what? Anybody else feeling that feeling? Like, what the F? Almost 30? You gotta be kidding me. All right, where are we putting this sage stick? I'm gonna set it in my spiritual counseling room where I do my readings, where I actually do painting. I haven't been using my room. Look at it. I've been throwing stuff in there, not using it. That's a sign that it needs to be saged. Look at that. I never really ever let it sit like that. That's not good. Especially it was just Halloween. I didn't even celebrate in my room. I didn't do any meditation in there. I've actually been doing it all during my night walks, and doing less candles, stuff like that. So it's okay to switch it up, but if ever you have clutter in your house, if ever you have areas of just clutter, rooms that are not being occupied, that are just full of garbage, stuff, or just stuff, or if ever you have like storage units, oh yeah, I need to take care of that too. This house is a project. I love it. I love this house. It is so old, 100 years old. It is so alive. It's just so alive. It has its own life. And that is really attractive to spirits and to energy. Yeah, anybody who comes in my house, actually, the truth comes out in them. Whatever the truth is, whoever comes and steps inside my home. Some people can't be here at all. Some people get inside, they have to leave. There's something about my house that makes them like feel like, oh my God, I need to get out of here. I gotta go. And some people, but the truth, and all that is false, it can't live here. Can't stay here, actually. Not for long. Not without becoming sick and tormented and then falling away. And that is how this house is. It's a very special house. And it's right up on a canyon. Maybe I'll take you back there and show you real quick before I start hedging. I just bought myself a new Black & Decker hedging trimmer. I borrowed one from my neighbor earlier this year, and it was awesome. Look at all that work I have to do. That's hard to do alone, let me tell you. I can't even get up there and do the tops. I just don't want to pay somebody to come do it, but I'll find a way. It's slowly but surely. It was all overgrown when I moved in. There's a spider right there. Oh God, there's always spiders around. Jesus. Look at this. This is my neighbor's house, but nobody lives here. It's still owned, but nobody's in there. It's just kind of abandoned. Look at that. Is a old-timey truck. The earth has started to eat it up. That's what the earth does. That's what the earth does. So like if a house has been empty for a few years, I would probably never buy it, because the earth starts to eat it and swallow it up. That's what earth does. You get roots growing into the pipes, especially Mercury, get your butt back here. Especially this is where I live. This is my backyard. That sound of birds, sound of wildlife, that is what I hear all day, every day, unless I'm listening to music or something. And living in a space like this just makes you super sensitive to life. You just feel life a lot. Mercury. And maybe it doesn't make you sensitive. Maybe I was always just that sensitive. And then when I got into the right environment for me, it was able to reveal the truth of who I was and what I was supposed to be doing in the world. So let me show you my back bedroom area. So this part right here is my bedroom. This is the back of the house. See, this house needs a lot of work, especially a roof. So this is my room, and this is the backyard. So you can walk behind there. You can kind of see that you can do that. But I don't really go back there because it's completely, the wildlife has completely just grown up into near the windows. I will need to go handle this tree at some point because it's starting to grow up close into my bedroom. That's bad. Earth prevails if man does nothing to tame it. So, and it happens really fast. The wild untamed is just like, that's why if we all, for whatever reasons, humans stopped being able to procreate, if humans eventually just died off all at once or slowly over the course of 100 years or whatever, we all just stopped producing more of us, the earth we would be wiped off the face of the earth. Like, our civilization wouldn't really last because the earth would just eat it up in faster than you can even imagine. So yeah, we think, when you find those documentaries about ancient Egypt and how they found a whole freaking city under the sand, under the dirt, however far down, and now they've had to dig it out, a whole city, buildings and monuments and artifacts and everything under the dirt. I don't think that happens over the course of 2,000 years. I think it happens really fast. If there's no other humans to cultivate the land around and make it, preserve it, it won't last. Earth, I love that, the way that sounds too. Earth will just eat it, swallow it. And all it is Earth. It's just man-made art using Earth's resources. Earth is an interesting noun, actually, because it's a person, it's a place, and a thing. Like, we are Earth. We are, oh, Mercury, be careful. We are Earth. We're not separate from Earth, not at all. We do have a spirit, but we are Earth, and we are made of the Earth. The water here, it's all the water that's ever been here. Think about that. All the water that's ever been on Earth is already here, and all the water that will ever be here is already here. So we're drinking recycled water from who? The philosophers, those people in ancient Egypt. I mean, Barack Obama. We're literally drinking Barack Obama's urine. I mean, that's we're all recycled. It's amazing, huh? Come here, Mercury. Look, this is my kitten. Hey, come here, puppy. Oh well. Like my cat Tigger, a couple days after my birthday, I haven't recorded any new YouTube videos or posted any since my birthday, June 8th. A few days after my birthday, my cat Tigger, he's 6 or 7 year old boy, I heard him get killed. I had met a guy, and I got into bed with him really fast. It's not totally like myself to do that, but I've been behaving in ways like that this year that I quit doing that. But for a little while, it's like my ex-boyfriend. He just rubbed off on me. I absorbed his influence. He has influences that are darker influences, and I just sort of absorbed them. They weren't even really mine. Or it just gave me this more like curiosity towards being corrupted. But I didn't let him corrupt me for long. But I met a guy, and he was African American, and I'd never been with an African American guy before. I met him at the food bank because on my birthday, and I had met him a couple months closer to when COVID started. He would you'd drive up to the school. Instead of going to the food bank, you'd go to this elementary school, and they would bring you out. You could go every single day, and they would just bring you enough food for your child. And then every Thursday, you'd get a huge box of fruit. That was just amazing. It was the most delicious fruit ever. It's kind of symbolic, right? It's this fruit was unlike anything I'd ever tasted. Better than farmer's market fruit. You'd get 2 huge bags of oranges, nectarines, plums, pears, apples. The fruit was just addicting, and I was handing it out to all my neighbors and everything because there was way more than I would ever be able to eat with just me and my daughter. And my neighbors were super in love with them too, and they kept saying, do you have any more? I know you said you're getting them. Can we have more, please? It was weird. And it was free. And every you would drive up into the parking lot, and you'd pop your trunk, and they'd bring it out for you. They'd put it in, close the trunk, and you'd drive off so that you could eliminate the need for social contact. Well, I don't know why, but it's not that I didn't think the rules didn't apply to me. It's just that I was so lonely during that time. It just blows me away how lonely I was starting to get after months. My ex-boyfriend left me, thankfully, thank God. But I couldn't see clearly at that time. He was very abusive, extremely. And he knew he was so abusive, he knew he had to go. Because I wasn't gonna stop it. I wasn't even gonna try. I was very weak at the time. And and then my dad died in March. And and then the grief was just too much for my boyfriend at the time. He had a month before my dad died, he had actually become physically violent with me, which he hadn't been before. And a couple weeks after the first physical assault, he strangled me at night at bedtime and threw me onto the ground. And he never spent the night again after that. He moved out a week after the first assault, and then we were kind of still trying to make it work a little bit. A couple weeks after the first one, though, he came to spend the night, and he was telling me that night, I'm just gonna keep hurting you. I know it. I've done it once, and you're gonna just let me. And I'm gonna keep doing it. I gotta go. He was already getting some other places too, and there's more to the story, obviously. But he had to go ahead and make himself sound like a noble abusive boyfriend that cares about me. He doesn't care about anything or anybody. He's not capable of caring, truly. Not for long. Not without agenda. And I probably sound bitter. And I don't think it's that I'm bitter. It's that it's my protection. It's my boundary. It's my energetic boundary that hopefully just at this point says, I don't ever want to see you ever again as long as I live. I don't ever want to hear from you again. Don't ever 1 year, 3 years from now feel like you're sorry and you want to come back and hoover me back in. No. He's a narcissist. Even if he's not, even if he heals, I just let the healing be, the example of healing being just move on. Don't talk to me again. Don't ever try and reconcile or apologize. Nothing. I tried emailing him a few times during the lockdown. I was so freaking lonely. I just was like, oh my God, but I was getting through it alone. A few times I tried to reach out and he wouldn't respond, which was probably for the best. But for me, it kind of felt like, well, you told me that you do love me and that I am significant to you. And I'm telling you, I just want to get some closure, just to get, like, to make sense of what all of that was. And now that we've gotten some distance in time between us, and there was no response. And it was like, for me, I thought, wow, he just won't close the door. He won't have a conversation. He won't respond and say, don't ever respond to me ever again. He wouldn't do that. Because me trying to reach him gave him power and satisfaction. It made him feel in control of me. It made him feel powerful and significant in the world. That at least somebody was thinking about him, even if they were hurting and needed something from him that he knows he could give. At least he's being thought about. At least he's alive in the world and significant. And so my healing has just been about making him very insignificant. But the truth is that he wasn't just emotionally and verbally abusive. He was a predator, violent. He was violent, dangerous, and deadly. I mean, he's playing a deadly game. And so that is significant. He's insignificant, but the behavior that he displayed, what he's capable of, to somebody who's was good to him and nice to him, I mean, that is significant, and that isn't something that I should forget ever. Should never forget that. And but I am just working on forgiveness, forgiving myself for just staying there, and just letting myself get to know myself as that girl that stayed, and like, what did I need? What did I need so bad? So when my dad died, it wasn't even a week later, probably, he was out. He split, banana split, baby. And I mean, he had no interest in me left whatsoever. A month after we quit talking, I just went on my life. I didn't even try to reach out to him anymore. I just said, fuck this. And I was feeling pretty good. I wasn't thinking about him every day, for the most part. And grieving my father actually helped me a ton to forget about him, right? Because the pain of losing my father was deep. And a month went by, and then he hoovered me back in with an email, and it worked. It worked hardcore. That night that he emailed me, I was going for a walk, and he popped into my mind, and the weight of missing him and like what had happened and the loss hit me, and I was just like, couldn't even breathe. I was just, I was sobbing. I sobbed in front of my daughter, and she said, what's the matter? And I said, I miss him. I said his name. It was the first time I even really said his name or even talked about him out loud since we had gone through what we had gone through, because I wouldn't talk about it with anybody. And I just wept. And at that same time that I was weeping, he was writing me an email. So we have a soul tie. That's called a soul tie. I knew that from the first month we were together, because he told me. He actually told me. And he said something along the lines of that. And this is like demonic. This is demonic influences. He told me that he had imprinted on me, or that I had imprinted on his soul. And I thought, that's a weird way to put that. I don't even know what that means. Is that some kind of significant contract to you or something? And throughout the course of the relationship, he would just get really sad, and he'd say things like, I'm going to destroy you. And he would say it with tears, or just feeling depressed or melancholic, general sense of malaise he always kind of has in him. He would say, I love you so much. You're so good to me. You're my healer, or whatever. Narcissists tell you you're their healer a lot of times. So that you'll stay submissive to them and play a role. They got to cram you into a box. They can only be in the box with you. You cannot go out of that box, because then the fantasy is broken, and I'll explain it some more, but because I'm going to be talking about this from now on. It's what I've always should have been talking about: narcissism, spirituality, spiritual warfare, God, Satan. It's real. It's real. And anywho, I better hurry up. My battery's getting low. Anyways, June 8th, I acknowledged the guy at the food bank. And he had the same exact name as my ex-boyfriend. And I thought, oh no, okay. And he said, well, I'm not him. And he's like, you ever been with a black Jay before? I'll just call him Jay. You ever been with a black Jay before? And I just got flushed, and like, it was so provocative what he said, the way he said it, his energy coming toward me. And I just was like, no, I haven't. And I think within a few days, we were sleeping together. I let him come over. And from the first time we did it, he did it with me like several times that night. And the way he did it was really odd. Like, and he's 5 years younger than me. He's 24 and I'm 29. He was like dead silent the whole time. Every time. I just was like, oh, this is weird. And he would just put, like, he was much stronger than me, extremely fit. I mean, a gorgeous body. He was so hot, I couldn't even deal with it. He refused to kiss me. Some people would consider this as like an incubus spirit. This is somebody who comes at night for the sole purposes of sleeping with you. And it's extremely, it's an extreme level of intimacy lacking. You can't have any intimacy with them. And this is what I experienced all summer with him. After the first couple months, he changed even more dramatically. But after we had sex the first time, he changed into basically what he thought of himself as a pimp. And he was saying, you're gonna go make me some money. So he's working at a school at the food bank and getting a hold of single moms like me to pimp them out. This is a fucking demon. That's a demon. And I knew I was like in the snares of a demon, that my ex-boyfriend had left me. I feel like he manifested that demon into my life, and I accepted it, obviously. I have my reasons for that too. I don't know if I'll go into it, but my ex-boyfriend used to see demons and really dark spirits, and he was tormented by demonic energy. I don't even think he's really a narcissist. I think he's just literally possessed, or has so much influence of negative spirits, from the music he listens to, from hopping into bed with any woman. He shares so many of these soul ties with women, maybe men, I don't know, because you see demonic activity, they'll sleep with anybody. It doesn't actually have anything to do with attraction. And it takes a lot of energy to be a demon. Like, they will suck the soul out of everything that they can. It's all about just maintaining their life force and getting that energy. And so I had a lot of it. You know, my energy that he could have got from me was priceless. I mean, it was abundant, and he never took it. He could never suck it out of me and leave me for dead. He left me for dead, though. That's what he did. And I had a feeling that, our soul tie, sometimes I would get random thoughts of him just laying in his bed at night, just thinking, ruminating about me, about spirits, like evil spirits coming toward me, wishing that they would come swallow me up, because I'm going to talk about my experiences this year that have been unlike anything I've ever experienced. And I acted in ways that I never would have acted. They'll take a sane woman and make her do crazy things. But what I did wasn't crazy. It was self-defense. I did what was right. He's getting his justice, karma. I'm holding him accountable. And I don't even care about his results. I'm not invested in seeing his karma fulfilled. I'm invested in standing up for what's right, for myself. And because God has found me again this year. I found God, and that's where I was led, was to get these fucking people up out of my life, uproot all that is not righteous. And I was actually told that my ex-boyfriend actually is righteous. There is righteousness in him, but the more tormented he is, it's because he has light. He has the ability to transform and to heal people. I just had visions of him, dreams of him, like on a stage preaching the word, like the gospel of Jesus Christ to people. And when he's a little bit older. And I mean, that was such a powerful vision, and wow. And I just felt it in my body, and I was like, yes, that is him. That's his soul. He's not soulless. It's just that he is so under the influence of these spirits, these demonic influences, you guys. Like, he is so out of his depth, and he knows it. He just knows it. He's a perfect target for demon to come eat him up. He knows that. And he also knows that he has the most beautiful, sensitive energy. It's almost feminine. And he has the capacity for so much love that it's healing. He can heal people from being sick, and he is so capable of being drained by other people. But those forces in him are dark. And he can manifest things onto people that are also very dark. That's what he did to me. I try to not think about him too much. I just try to think about the behavior. Like I said, part of my healing is making sure that I make him insignificant to me and my life. He hasn't done anything for me. He hasn't. He helped me get my daughter back from some people that, I was confused when I met him, and he helped set me straight. Through pain, torment, trauma, abuse. That's how he initiated all that for me. So he hasn't done nothing for me, and that wasn't love. He didn't love me. He displayed behavior that showed how deeply he hates me, actually. He hated my light. The darkness in him hated my light and my purpose and my vision, and he wanted to derail it. The way we met, it was just spiritual. It was just too good to be. It wasn't too good to be true. It was too perfect. We met in that spiritually used bookstore, and there he was. Someone that would never be in that spiritual bookstore at all. He was right there. He was. And it was just enchanting. I was so enchanted. And I was able to enchant him. And I was able to witness my own influence on him. My own sexual feminine energy was powerful. And I could see how vulnerable parts of him were. I thought, oh my God, someone's going to find him and destroy him. He's at that part. If he's a narcissist, he's a fallen one. He's vulnerable right now. And that's what I don't know. I just felt the need to be with him, and I kind of knew upon meeting him, though. And I thought I could love him out of it. I thought I could help him snap out of it. And he ended up doing exactly what he said he was going to do. Yeah, he wasn't saying that, I'm going to destroy you. He wasn't saying it as in he's scared of doing that. He was saying it, I'm going to destroy you because I want to destroy you. I hate you. I hate your light. I want you to die. I want you to want to kill yourself. I want a pimp to be attracted to you and use you as a whore for him. I want that to happen to you. And when you realize that with these kinds of people, I feel no way for him anymore. I don't feel any pain. I mean, God took it from me because I've asked. I've asked to see the truth. And that is the truth. No matter what they say, that is the truth. That is what he showed me. And he even told me, which they will tell us what they're going to do to us. They actually tell us pretty much everything. We just don't want to hear it. We don't interpret it correctly. Anyways, this other fucking demon, he used the riots and protests and my white guilt against me, and he concocted this whole story about how, if I don't help him, then I'm the racist people that they're protesting against. And that was really confusing for me. I was like, really? I was really gullible and vulnerable to that narrative. I thought, really, that doesn't sound like me. That doesn't sound like true for me. But sure enough, all summer, he was getting money from me. I was giving him money because he was so scary. I didn't want to be having sex with him, but he would just show up and make me. He would just force me to. And I don't even want to call it rape because it's too I can't handle it. I can't handle that emotionally. I'm not in denial. I don't need to. I will call it that one day. That's what it is. But after everything else this year, I'm like, I can't acknowledge that right now. But I need to get him out. I need to get him away from my family, my daughter and I. I never let her meet him, but he would come in the night. He'd come in the night and he'd hold me down and do it, and then he would leave immediately after. And it was just horrible. I met another African American man who took me out for a whole day, and we had a really nice day. He was just like a friend, but we had a great day together. And he sat there and talked to me, and he told me exactly what this guy was doing. He confirmed, like, oh, this is a demon. Like, you've got to get them out. Quit being available to these people. You are damaged badly right now. You need to heal. Get these fucking people out. Call the police. So one night he showed up and I told him, I'm going to call the police. And I did. I actually called the police on him, and he left for the most part. And that started a whole new trail of healing for me. I told the police about what my ex-boyfriend did to me, too. I gave them a huge testimony. They sought me out to get that testimony, and they were very serious about it. And this will come to light in his life, even if not right now. I have more evidence that they want, and I just haven't given it to them because I'm not ready to. I'm not sure. I don't want to be the reason why somebody's in prison. But the police, the investigators of this city, state, or whatever, he's being watched. And I hope that I spoke with him for the first time in September, and I told him, you're in trouble. Like, this is bad. I didn't mean for this to happen, but this is bad. You're in trouble. You need to be careful. You need to take this seriously and get help. Show them that you're trying. And all he said was, I don't like you, or whatever. I don't like you. Go away. I never want to talk to you again. And he said, no, I'm not. I'm not in trouble because I didn't do anything wrong. You're crazy. You made it up. And I've told everybody. So his narcissistic smear campaign, basically. Told everybody who? Who cares? I don't know your people. They're insignificant in my world. If that makes you sleep better at night, with your smear campaign. You and all your flying monkeys. I mean, they don't care. They don't give a shit about the 15th crazy girl you've ever been with. They know what you are. They know what you are. Anybody who's a narc and has all their flying monkeys, they just want the girl or the guy to come back so you can just shut up and leave them alone. It's really, ugh. So anyways, God's taken the heartache, the heartbreak part out of it. So for me, and now I just have attitude. I mean, I'm so glad I met that one other dude and we just had a good day together, and he was like, this is not normal. You're not racist. He's doing, that's evil, that he's gaslighting you. And we prayed together. I went to the police about both guys. Ever since I stuck up for myself and went and told the truth and I did what was right, and I stopped tolerating this behavior, everything in my life has started to heal rapidly. My money, my life, my joy, my sleep, everything. Just my relationship with anybody who I'm in my friends, people are coming back, and the truth is revealing itself again and I'm not in pain. I'm not in pain. And I just went and got my own phone line, threw away that other piece of garbage iPhone 5, and I have an iPhone 11. I bought this. I bought it. It's mine. And I just feel so proud of myself. It's just, anyways, guys, I keep walking around, but I'm gonna go. That's my update. Be careful for these psychos out here, man. Legitimate psychopaths. That's what they are. And they don't like your light. They want to kill it and crush it and destroy it. They don't like it. They hate it. It's Satan. It is literally spiritual warfare between the Lord Almighty and Lucifer. It's crazy. I know. Anyways, have a good one. Bye.